Chuck suddenly heard a strange noise. Is there someone else on this deserted island? Chuck was on alert. A coconut fell. Soon, Chuck found a lot of coconuts. Coconut water was a good source of energy. Chuck threw the coconuts against the rock wall. The coconut shells were too hard. Chuck tried and failed to open the coconuts. Chuck had to hit the coconuts with a big rock. The rocks were breaking. The coconut still didn't open. The cracked stone became very thin. Chuck used the rock to cut through the coconut shell. The coconut shell was finally removed. Chuck smashed the coconut against the rock. The coconut broke in half. All that's left for Chuck is a little bit of coconut water. Chuck drilled a hole in the coconut with a rock. Finally, he got a drink of coconut water. Refreshed, Chuck was ready to escape the island. A huge wave came in front of him. Chuck looked back at the island. He kept paddling as hard as he could. Just a few meters ahead, a wave came over him. Chuck was backing up again. The waves behind him were getting bigger and bigger. Chuck had only gone a few hundred meters. A huge wave came over him. The lifeboat was overturned. Chuck fell into the... Chuck started taking the blind boxes apart. The first blind box is open. Inside were some videotapes. Doesn't look like it'll do much good. The second blind box is open. Inside were divorce papers. The third blind box was opened. Inside is a souvenir volleyball. The fourth blind box is opened. Inside was a pair of skates. Chuck looked at them and put them aside. The fifth blind box was opened. Inside was a dress. Chuck can't wear it. It could be used as a fishing net. Chuck picked up the sixth blind box. He touched the wings on the box, hoping it would bring him luck. Chuck made a fishing net out of the skirt. Chuck caught his first fish. He picked it up and tasted it. It was awful. Chuck made a harpoon. The harpoon hit a crab piece. The meat in the crab's legs was liquid. Chuck had to find a way to build a fire. From morning to night, Chuck's attempts to make a fire out of wood didn't work. Chuck had to eat coconut meat. When he saw the coconut, Chuck thought he'd use the husk to build a fire. The stick broke Chuck's hand. Angry, Chuck threw the stick. He grabbed the volleyball and threw it again. Helpless, Chuck yelled at the ocean. The volleyball with the ghost face on it was placed on a rock by Chuck. Chuck looks at the face as it tries to get a fire going, hoping that the face would bring good luck. Finally, there was a spark in the wood. Chuck puts more coconut husk on it. There's a lot of smoke coming out of the coconut peels. Chuck blew on it. He blew on the coconut bark and it ignited. After a few days of trying, Chuck finally built a fire. The crabs were roasted over the fire, and for the first time, Chuck had his first taste of crab meat. The volleyball with a ghost face brought Chuck good luck. A broken tooth made Chuck feel bad. Chuck decided to get rid of it. First, Chuck aimed his skate blade at the broken tooth. With his other hand, he picked up a rock. Chuck made a few gestures. Suddenly the rock hit the skate hard. The tooth was knocked out, and Chuck passed out. For years past, Chuck had mastered the art of fishing. Every day, Chuck thought about how to get off the island. One day, a plastic sheet floated up from the beach. The board was blown over by the wind. Chuck thought he could use the board to fight the waves. Finally, Chuck made it over the waves and left the island.